Here's why $200 is still my price target for Cosmos' native token called Atom during this bull run, even though nothing I say is financial advice. Reason number one is because I just feel like this is a very special project. As of right now, we see these random projects popping up, and many of the existing ones as well. They're not that good. But when it comes to this, it's very special, and let me explain why. If we take a look at Cosmos, the Cosmos blockchain utilizes a proof-of-stake consensus algorithm called Tendermint. Now, Tendermint actually allows the Cosmos blockchain to process up to 10,000 transactions per second. I mean, that's very impressive if you ask me. Not to mention as well, if we take a look at it, we'll see that Tendermint actually created a toolkit called the Cosmos SDK. Now, SDK stands for Software Development Kit, but even besides that, what this does is that it allows something called application-specific blockchains to be built. Now, some people may be thinking, okay, it's a little bit boring, man. Who cares about this? Well, it's actually not, because the adoption, I would arguably say, is really good. If we take a look at this, we'll see how there has been over 50 Cosmos-based blockchains, such as the BNB chain. I think we've all heard about that, right? Of course, Binance, very popular. We take a look at the BNB chain. But even besides that, we also take a look at Crypto.com's Cronos. I mean, we all know Crypto.com, I think pretty much also Cronos. I think this is very impressive. Not to mention, we see something like Kava. Kava is somewhat of an underrated project in my opinion, but still, we take a look at these Cosmos-based blockchains. They're the real deal, in my opinion. Now, I'm not telling anyone to buy Atom or something like that, but the way you take a look at it is that this is a very special project. I mean, it's kind of rare we see something this amazing. And not to mention, as of right now, people that are focused on AI projects, blockchain gaming, NFTs, and don't get me wrong, they're very cool, they're very interesting. But when I take a look at Cosmos, even though it's quote-unquote a little bit boring, according to many people, but I think it's very special and the adoption is fantastic. And I think that moving forward, it's just going to continue to get better from here on out. There's going to be more blockchains that are going to pop up in the future. And could some of them be Cosmos-based blockchains? I think maybe. So I think that naturally, if I do believe in this space moving forward, which I do, if I believe that adoption is going to increase, if I believe in all that, why would I not believe that something like Cosmos could have a place moving forward, especially when I consider how special these Cosmos-based blockchains are and how special the upcoming ones could be? Only time will tell. Now, let's not forget the glue, so to speak, that connects all of these Cosmos-based blockchains together is actually something called IBC. Now, IBC stands for Inter-Blockchain Communication Protocol, and any blockchain out there that does have that enabled can easily transfer data to and from any blockchain, again, that has IBC enabled. So the way you take a look at it is that Cosmos, it's a very simple and easy to understand project. It's not overly complicated, and I think it really fits the bill. I think the foundation is in place when it comes to something like this because it has a good fan base. It's not the best, but it's pretty good. Not to mention, use case is amazing. Good exchange listings when it comes to Atom. All it needs to wait now is for a fully fledged board, in my opinion, which I think could hypothetically come. But before I talk about that, the way to take a look at it is that Cosmos, it's a very polished project in a sense that other projects out there, they're still figuring a lot of stuff out. Some of them are still waiting on the community to have this passion for the project or this drive or this, belief, I would say. Some other projects out there are still building. They're not really doing much, really. Some of them are not doing anything at all. And some others, we don't really know what clear direction they have moving forward. But again, when it comes to Cosmos, it's polished in a sense that we know what it's trying to do. We know that the community is proven. We know that the adoption is great. Again, all it needs now is a fully fledged board, which I don't see why it won't do well because there's over 600 million crypto owners as of right now, according to Crypto.com research. That's more than ever before in history. Back in the peak of the 2021 bull run, only around 300 million crypto owners. Again, now we pretty much have double, so that's pretty impressive. I think this run could be a lot more amazing. Also, take a look at the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF, the number of institutional investors, the amount of enterprise adoption. Not to mention as well, the anticipation of what the Solana ETF in Canada could hypothetically bring moving forward. And I do believe that Cosmos could hypothetically benefit greatly from that. Now, why isn't $200, I think, too crazy? It's because if it were to go to that price, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $78 billion, which is around a 46x from here. I get it. Some people think it's crazy, but take a look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin reached over $80 billion in market cap back in 2021. And the factors were not as great as they were right now, in my opinion, in terms of the bullish sentiment. I get it. It's a little bit hard to believe that as of right now, but with those bullish factors I mentioned before, I feel like this upcoming peak of the bull run could be so amazing. And Atom, at around a $78 billion market cap, I don't see why that's too much. In my opinion, if Dogecoin can reach over 80 billion years ago, why can't this reach around 78 billion this time around, let's say in the upcoming hypothetical peak? Now, why don't I think the bull run is over? It's because usually, historically speaking, altcoins, as a worst case scenario, they typically peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. The last Bitcoin halving event happened in April of last year, so 18 months from then would actually mean around October this year. Now, it's not a guaranteed date by any means, I'm totally aware of that. However, I'm going to use that more so as a benchmark because I feel like in the previous bull runs, the sentiment is not as positive as what it could be this time around. Now, only time will tell, but really, again, over 600 million crypto owners, number of institutional investors are through the roof, the amount of enterprise adoption, with the amount of ETFs we have. And really, the way to take a look at it is that this bull run is far from over. Of course, there's going to be the end to the bull run, but I think maybe around 6 months from right now, 8 months, it could hypothetically be a different story, which is why I'm still staying patient, still accumulating, holding, and just waiting, because Atom at the price of $200 wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's Malik the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.